so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for Thoughts for Rent, our podcast, Realtors Keeping It Real, where we get together and we talk about things in life, things in real estate, things in Las Vegas, things in the world. And I'm Max Zerflu along with Jenni McKenna, the queen of real estate.
No, I'm not the queen
That's what
of
I
real
call
estate.
you. You are the queen of real estate.
I don't even sell real estate anymore.
I went to a panel yesterday and listened to 4 very strong real estate women.
Good.
And you're better than all of them.
Women should take over the world.
Anyway, that's why I call you the queen. But it's Thoughts for Rent, ladies and gentlemen, because Jenni runs a company called McKenna Property Management and manages so many properties. Hard to imagine.
Over 1,300, actually.
And that's got to keep you moving and shaking, huh?
It does. We were just saying before we got on the podcast that life is crazy. It's just, sometimes it could just beat you down. I feel like the
It's true.
I feel like life right now is, winning. It's
No,
like the
don't
check
say
mark.
that.
It's the little marks that you make. In Ragnar, when you run and you kill somebody, as you pass them, you get to put the kills on your van.
Yes.
I feel like there's life and there's Jenni right now. And I feel like today life has set the mark.
First of all, don't talk to me about the kills in Ragnar. They called me the kill maker because I got past more than a bunch of people that just ate Taco Bell.
What are we talking about today, Max? Besides the fact that life can kind
First
of one up you.
Life's not winning. You know how I know that? Because you're 6 feet above and not 6 feet under. So you don't fail until you quit, my friend.
I'm not quitting.
But we're talking about something today of interest to everybody in the world. And it's all about conversing versus communicating.
And I talk to my team about this all the time. So I think a lot of people probably will like to hear about this because we have what I think in the business world, kind of a division. Just to make it simple, it's old school style, new school style. The new school style, I like to say they like to do a lot of communicating. They communicate really well. They communicate via email. They communicate via text. They are communicators. But I think what they lack is the skill of conversation. And I think conversation is what builds relationships.
Wonderful. I don't disagree with you. And I don't think it's age necessarily. I agree with you that people now would prefer to text and email than call and talk to somebody, therefore limiting their ability to converse. But I know some old people that communicate and don't converse. And by this we mean, and we got to give some credit to Celeste Headlee. We heard a podcast about a book she wrote, the book called We Need to Talk. And that kind of brought us to this topic today. So we should probably give her a shout out.
And that book she wrote was in 2015. And it is still absolutely, the content is, it's dated. It's
Jenni,
not dated.
she could have wrote the book in 1920.
Yeah, actually,
it doesn't matter because
true.
People in the world don't listen enough. And in order to converse with somebody, you have to listen. And I've known you, been married to you for 32 years, and you and I have people in our lives that we recognize as pretty poor listeners.
Yes.
And you and I, at times, I'm sure, have been poor listeners. We all come across this with our children and with our spouses. We want to communicate what we want to say more than we want to be involved in a conversation.
Well, and what Celeste said, which I think hit home to me, is when anybody is having a conversation with me, for some reason, and this is DNA, so it made me feel better that it's not just me, you immediately start thinking about what you're going to say next.
Yes.
You're like waiting for the breath of that individual to just like put a period at the end of the sentence so that you can just, say what you want to say. And that's actually bad. You should not be doing that. If you're really in the moment of listening, you should listen to everything that person has to say, digest it, and then converse with something else. And I know I'm a culprit of it. I'm always thinking about it and I want to solve the problem and I want to, throw my opinion out there because, I think I can, add something to this conversation. But the truth of the matter is we're not built that way. We need to learn this skill. And what I've been trying to relate to my team members, and there's 13 team members on McKenna Property Management, is that this skill set is probably the most important thing in business, especially right now, because you need to know, yes, communication is important, text, email, give them what needs to be done as far as the data. But you must pick up the phone and you've got to create that conversation. And then when you've got them on the phone, you better be a good conversationalist, because if you're not, then it was a waste of time.
Are you done?
Oh, look at that.
Are you done?
You practiced.
But I'm going to say something about you.
Okay, I know exactly what you're going to say.
I don't think you know.
I know.
You are Tim McKenna's daughter.
I'm Irish.
Oh, I know. And this is what I'm going to say. Part of this podcast, Brian Buffini was the host of the podcast, and he's Irish. He actually has an Irish accent. I didn't know this.
He does. Yeah. He's full Irish.
Anyway, he referenced something called a Shauna Chai.
Yes.
Don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I don't.
Shauna Chai is an old man at the pub in the village in Ireland telling stories.
Yes.
And they'll take a 90-second story and make it 10 minutes long. And your father does that.
Tim McKenna.
And you, do you want to reference yourself? Jenni McKenna?
Actually,
you do it too.
It's so true. And as he was saying this, and of course, Dad and I, Tim McKenna and I, are both Irish and we're proud Irish people. I noticed that I have this story that could be just a simple 60-second, 90-second story. And for some oddball reason, I have to keep elaborating on it and adding things to it. And just like, Buffini said, he's like, you could take a 90-second, turn it into 5 minutes, and you've completely lost your audience. Completely
Absolutely.
lost. And I have felt that. I have seen it. And for some reason, I'm still not good at shutting up.
Well, I would never agree with you on that. But it's true.
It is true.
But that's the point. Now, is anybody going to say it? Are you going to say it or am I going to say it?
You said it.
God gave us 2 ears and only 1 mouth. So it's kind of funny that we are better at talking than listening. I think let's get this going here. But, I also want to reference what she said and what I've known a long time. And you've heard about this with all of your studying through Keller Williams. And that, how do you control a conversation?
Ask questions.
The person who asks the questions controls the conversation. And it's so true. And it's true in business. It's true with me with a listing appointment when I'm trying to secure a seller to sell a property. If I just go in and start talking about myself, I will lose that listing in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. You have to ask questions. Ask questions about the person you're talking to. Let them tell you about themselves. Because that's what we're best at talking about is ourselves.
Well, that was something that Celeste had said, that when we are talking about ourselves and we're talking about things that we know, personal things, maybe my dog, my children, my home, it's like an endorphin upper. She referenced it to the same feeling is from heroin.
And sex. I don't know if you heard that part or not.
I wasn't going to say that.
Well, it's okay. People have sex.
So that's a powerful connection. And I can tell that when you are asking questions, if somebody's asking me questions and I'm getting involved in being able to answer something that's important to me, I'm more engaged.
Oh, so you feel that endorphin, that kick, that high when you're telling people about yourself. Right. So if you were in a conversation with somebody else, giving them the opportunity to have that high speaks volumes. Right. So that's why we want to come in and she also referenced a time when somebody asked her, how do you start a conversation? Right. So, and we'll just do it kind of personal. Like you said, how would I start a conversation? I'd say, so you're from Las Vegas, right?
I am.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about Las Vegas, how long you've lived there.
I've lived there my whole life.
Oh, really? What is it you like about Las Vegas?
It is such a unique city. Do you know that something is always being built? There's always something new restaurants, new activities, new hotel casinos. I love it. It's a great city.
Would you consider moving somewhere else?
Oh, no, not full time.
So you really love it here in Las Vegas.
I do.
That's great.
The summers are a little rough.
Uh-huh.
So that would be the only thing that maybe for the summer I would go somewhere where it would cool off a little bit. But no, as far as a city, it is awesome.
So I just started the conversation by asking some questions about something that you want to talk about. So easy.
And I know that in property management, what we do is a lot of times the calls will come in, and the only thing they really want to know are what's it going to cost me, and what can my property rent for? And those are great questions, but everything needs to be in a relationship situation because, like I used to say, and I still say, real estate transactions are like the courting. You're only in it for a short period of time. So you always see the best face on everybody in your real estate transaction. You start it, you end it, they move into the house, boom, all you're done. Property
Hopefully.
management is the marriage. We're going to be in a relationship with that particular property owner for years. So we like to start the conversation where they ask us about how much it's going to cost or, what my property can rent for. I always like to say, yeah, we'll get to that, but can you tell me a little bit about the situation? Why are you renting that property?
Mm-hmm.
Do you live in that property, or is that something that...
No, I like to keep my hand there. Stop it.
Or do you need to... Do you need it to have somebody move out? Is there some work that needs to be done? So these are all questions, probably a good 5 or 6 questions before we even get to the meat of what the fees
Beautiful.
are or what the rent would be.
Beautiful.
And
That's
through
what you
those
should do.
questions, you're going to know urgency. You're going to know emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be able to know exactly how you can help that individual. And isn't that what our business is actually supposed to be for?
Absolutely. You got to dig deep. You got to go deeper in your questions and make sure you find out their motivation and what their, what is it? Something makes them... Well, I forgot. I had a great one and I just lost it. That's horrible. But it ended with emotions make them act.
Yeah.
Logic makes them think. Emotions make them act.
And that is absolutely true in anything. Emotion's going to make you act, but everybody sometimes starts with the logic thinking, but you're actually going to act when it becomes emotional. The other thing that I really feel like I think I'm going to work on, and I'm going to share it with the team, is the fact that know when to stop talking. It's not even about the stories. I know that I tell stories that could be 90 seconds and it turns into 3, 4, 5 minutes. I'm going to work on that. But the other thing I really want to work on is when I am saying something in a conversation, just stop. Don't keep dragging it on. Say the sentence, 1 or 2 sentences, and then just wait and let that other person give that feedback. Because you know what the most important thing is? This is what the bottom line is. All of us, every human being wants to be heard.
Amen.
And this is a skill set that by allowing somebody to be heard, you will actually be able to better not only your business, maybe your personal relationship with your spouse, your partner, your children. I mean, all this is something that just bleeds right into every aspect of your life.
Absolutely. People want to be heard. Of course, you can't both sit there and not talk. Someone's got to get the ball rolling. So that could be awkward if you just kind of wait. But it comes true into negotiation as well. When you've said what you want to say, stop talking. People get themselves into trouble in negotiations when they just can't stop talking. I'll sell you this bottle of water for $3, Jenny. Now, it's really good water. I want you to know how good this water is. And $3, I think, is a great price. I mean, I may be able to go a little lower, but I think 3 is my number. So I'd be willing to sell this to you for $3. What do you think about the $3 offer? I mean, again, I could go lower if I had to.
Well, how low will you go?
Well, no, I mean, I don't want to go very low, but I just think 3 would be great. See, it's just horrible.
Yeah, because I would have bought it at $3 if you had just put a period on the end.
You never know, right? And you don't know. But here's how I would do it. Hey, I got this great bottle of water, tastes great. I'm going to offer it to you for $3. What do you think?
I'm thirsty and I want that water. I'm going to pay you $3.
We got a deal?
I'm going to have it.
Beautiful. Done. But you talk yourself out of stuff. People always just keep talking, partly because they want to hear their own voice. And they think if I talk more, I'll sound intelligent. And it backfires a lot because you don't sound more intelligent. You sound desperate. You sound like you want to hear your own voice. And it's the same in team meetings, in corporate meetings. You have to be able to say what you want to say and then stop talking. And understand it's okay if I don't talk. I think most people go into a meeting and say, if I walk out of this meeting and I haven't said anything, they're going to think I'm stupid or I don't care or I'm not involved. It's not always the case. Listening can be such a skill, and it can take you to so many higher heights than just running your mouth.
So when somebody is running their mouth, do you have a particular trick that you can do that will maybe get them to stop talking and do it in a manner that's professional? Or let's say it's a husband and wife situation and you don't want the husband or the wife pissed off for the day because you interrupted them when they needed to do their talking.
Yes, no, I do not have an answer. When it comes to meetings, I'll let people continue to talk. You can't cut them off because that's just rude. And if they're choosing to not listen and they want to talk, it's only having a negative effect on me. So they do whatever they want to do. And when it comes to your spouse, you and I set up an agreement a couple of years ago because you informed me that I cut you off all the time.
He does.
Well, let's not go nuts because the rest of the story will tell a little bit of the tale. Just listen.
Okay.
You told me you interrupt me so much. You're always interrupting me. You never let me finish a point. So I said, well, I don't want to do that. It's not my intention. Let's develop a word that will be a trigger. So if I'm talking and you interrupt me, I can just say watermelon sugar. That's not a very good code word. It's 2 words. It takes too many syllables, but whatever. That's what we came up with.
We came up with that because that was the popular song during the time.
But Harry style.
I know.
But then, so we put that in play, and we found out that I was saying watermelon sugar a lot more, like a lot. So we found out that you were interrupting me too. Maybe you didn't know you were. And so we quickly took the word out and said, oh, screw it. This is not going to work. We're saying it too many times. But maybe you have to have something with your spouse that says, or just, well, I was talking and you interrupted me. May I continue?
Well, in the book, that's perfect. But in a real world scenario, that probably isn't going to happen. But in the book, We Need to Talk, there's a section that does state that if I'm a spouse, let's just use me as an example. I come home and I just need to vent. I just need to have this venting session about whatever happened at work or children or whatever. I can preface it and say, Max, I had a crappy day. I need to tell you all about it. You don't need to give me any advice. Just listen. Then the other thing can be said. Hey, Max, I've had a crappy day, or my children have really upset me. I want to get. I
stopped hearing you.
Oh, no.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
No, I don't think we hear each other. This is very awkward.
What about now?
Nope, I got nothing. Well, maybe we lost sound. Something. You hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, maybe it's just my headset. I don't know what happened. That was a little awkward moment. I hear what you're saying, though. I should be able to say to you, just listen to me for 5 minutes, and I should be able to take and hear from you, just listen to me for a while. One of my triggers that I do, and I don't know if it annoys people or not, is that if I'm talking and people, first of all, your family that I married into that has now become our family, we're an interrupting family. It's kind of what we do. One trigger I've taken is I've started saying, like, if I'm talking and then I'm about to finish a sentence or continue with a sentence and you cut in, I'll go, hey, I can finish my sentence when you're done if you'd prefer.
I know. He says that a lot.
And so I don't know. Does that aggravate you when I say that?
It doesn't aggravate
Does it make you say, oh, yep, I interrupted him. I should wait?
It's kind of it's actually a good statement to make me think, oh, I should have let him finish that sentence.
One more item I'd like to touch on is the importance of listening before you talk. In terms of a leader, if you're in a group of people and you're the leader and you have to address a problem, find an answer or a solution to a problem, right? If you come out into the room and say, here's the problem we're going to have. I want everybody to give their input. Here's what I think, right? Mm-hmm. And you're the leader and you give your opinion right away, then everybody else, when it gets to become their turn, they're going to be hesitant to disagree with what you said, hesitant to even come up with even mention their idea because you've already said what you want. So I have to give credit to Nelson Mandela. His father taught him that when you're in a group of people and you're the leader, sit down, state the problem, and say, I want to hear from each of you, and make sure the leader is the last to speak.
That makes total sense.
So the leader has to listen to everybody and don't set the tone for the answer or the solution, because if you talk first, you'll kind of ruin that. So
that makes sense to me. That's very good advice.
Oh,
Matt
thanks.
Zerflew.
I did good. I had a good one.
Wow.
Well, you've heard that before. I mean,
I have.
It's just so obvious. You know?
Harder to do than to say, because as a leader, you do have an idea of where you want that conversation to go and how that problem should get resolved. And sometimes it can go a bit squirrely, but I agree with you. Get the input before your input, because nothing will really be said if you put the tone of the
Well, you run a staff meeting every Thursday. And yesterday I asked you, how did it go? And you said, well, I probably did way too much talking.
I did.
So, I would challenge you to your next staff meeting, walk in and say, hey, who's got the agenda? Let's go top to bottom. I'm just going to observe today.
That'd be a great idea.
Let's see how that goes.
All
We'll
right.
report back. You got any more ideas on listening? And
Nope. I would say I recommend the book, We Need to Talk. And it is something that I think every human being walking this earth should probably gain that skill.
Ask questions and listen. That's Thoughts for Rent. That's us today. That's our podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. We always want to hear back from you guys. Tune in next time on Thoughts for Rent, Realtors. Keeping it real. I'm Max Zerflew.
And I'm Jenni McKenna.
And we're out. Have a good day. Oh, there you go. Sound good? Okay, good. I'll pass over to Ireland. Here you go, Ken.
Thanks, Pops.